Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in again for another Hope at the End of the Tunnel podcast. I am one of your hosts, Juanita Woodson. Of course, I'm joined by my beautiful co-host, Joy West Falo. Super excited to continue bringing you real stories with real moms to remind you that there is that hope at the end of the tunnel. So, Joy, I'm going to pass it to you so you can introduce our guest tonight.
All right. Hey, everyone. I am super, super, super excited to have my dear friend Valencia on tonight. Valencia and I have known each other for probably 8 or so years now, maybe.
Yeah.
And yes. And I had a moment. That's why I did the pause with this. But Valencia is very dear to me. And when I look at Valencia, I see strength. When I look at Valencia, I see determination. When I look at Valencia, she is a true role model to single moms with small kids. And yeah, okay, I'm not gonna keep on going because I don't know. But Valencia, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell it all, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself.
My name is Valencia Franklin. I'm 33 years old. I am a single mother of five. I'm a registered nurse. I also am a mother of a daughter who battled cancer. She battled cancer 3 times and she passed away. My sweet Maddie. A lot of people know me from being that that strong, fierce cancer mom and just being determined and not allowing my circumstances to determine my future or where I want to go or what I want to do. I've been knowing Joy for like 8 years. Very positive, very her podcast says it all, hope at the end of the tunnel, very positive, hopeful person in our community. Someone strong that that our community needs, and I thank God for her and Juanita. Both of them are very inspirational Black women to me, and I'm so happy to be a part of this, to be able to share this with these beautiful ladies, and I look forward to us working together and doing so much more.
Oh, I almost cried. You're amazing. So, listen, I think we can jump right in, Joy. So, I will go ahead and let's start with the icebreaker question, right? Before we get into the deep conversations. So, if you can share with us just one word, what does this season of motherhood feel like for you?
Faithful, faithful,
Yeah.
just being faithful.
Wow.
I think, I think that my faith is really being tested. And I think that God wants to see if I'm going to remain faithful, if I'm just going to deter, or if I'm going to, run, or am I going to just stay faithful to, to his word and to his promises.
You know, you said faithful, and the question that I want to ask you is, what does faith look like when life feels overwhelming? Wow, like what does that look like?
I think faith to me, what it looks like to me is to keep going. Like it looks like, okay, it may be rain in my forecast tomorrow or, yesterday or whatever, but I just put my umbrella on, my rain boots, and I just continue to go. Like faithful means that I don't know all the answers. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't even know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, but I'm going to remain faithful and I'm going to press on.
Yes.
You demonstrate that. I don't know if you realize that, but you really demonstrate that. Just even, with Maddie, but your other kids, because had you still kept going and you still keep going. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Can you share a little bit just share a little bit more with us, right? For the listener who is like, okay, I really don't know who this lady is. I don't know her background. I don't know who Maddie is, right? Can you share a little bit about your journey, your experience in motherhood for the person who has never laid eyes on you before?
Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. When I was 16 years old, I got pregnant with my oldest daughter, Anaya. So I was a teen mother. I faced so many challenges with my kids, from being homeless to different things dealing with like mental health, those type of struggles. Fast forward, I got pregnant again at 19, had my daughter Madeline, and then ended up having two more kids. And after I had my fourth child, my daughter Madeline, at 5 years old, she was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma, which is the type of cancer that is in her nerves. So, me and my kids, we spent over 5 years back and forth at St. Jude Hospital while my daughter was receiving her chemo, her radiation. She had major surgeries. Wow, it was just a journey. And, along the way, met so many amazing people. And I never want to name one person and don't name everybody, but I'm just thankful for everyone that this journey has brought a part of our lives, I'm just thankful for that. Because even after the rain, there's always a rainbow. So I do thank God for that. And everything that I went through, my daughter Maddie, she taught me how to be strong. She gave me strength. She showed me how to love when nobody else loves. Like she gave me that strength. She truly was a pillar in our community. She truly was a child of God. She loved Jesus. She loved to read her Bible. And she would just walk into a room and could bring the sunshine and just bring the happiness. So after she passed, I started a foundation called Maddie's Miracle Foundation. It's a working on getting my 501c from my nonprofit. My aunt is helping me, so I thank God for that. I'm very slow footed, as Joy can tell you. But I thank God for that. But my nonprofit wants to give $500 scholarships to high school seniors, anyone who was impacted by battling cancer themselves, or they may have had a mother or a sister or a brother or someone that battled cancer. So, that's what my scholarship wants to give. Just a token. That $500 could be used for food, gas, books. Like, it could be used for anything that they would need, even with just going to college, like toiletries and things like that. It's expensive. I had one of my little cousins just went to college, and Jaleesa, and they had to try to, get things that she needed or whatever, because you don't think about the toiletries and things like that they're gonna need. So yeah.
Oh man, listen, just
Uh-huh.
listening to you share your story. I can see now why Joy introduced you the way that she did. She sees strength, she sees resilience. You definitely exude all of those things. So I thank you for your transparency, because I know that it was probably not an easy thing, right? I can't relate to what your experience was, but I definitely I can see why what you're doing is necessary, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oof. So, can you share a time then when maybe your faith was tested? And then how did your faith in God carry you through?
I think that the whole 5 years of my daughter, battling cancer, we went through a period where she was cancer free. And then we went through a period where, okay, the cancer's back again. There's nothing we can, do for you at this time. So just trusting and just believing that this is not the end, you know. And my daughter is not here anymore, but as I'm sure as most of us are, we're Christians, and we believe that, when you close your eyes here, you open your eyes with God. Like we have an eternity home waiting on us. And my daughter truly earned her crown in her eternity, her home. So she truly earned that. So that gives me so much hope. And, like I want to live my life right because I want to see my daughter again. I want to I want to walk the life, walk in my purpose, walk in my calling, and walk and do not only just my purpose, but what God is calling me to do, to follow his will and his purpose for my life. Because I think a lot of times we get so set on, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And, and we don't hear God's voice because our voice is so loud or other people's voices are loud. So I think now I'm just in a place like, oh, God, tell me what to do. Yeah, like, Lord, help me. So.
We're fighting back tears. Like, I be trying not to cry.
I could
I don't know. It's just something about everything that you said, and just I put myself in people's shoes, and I've heard this story over and over and over, but it hit me different because it's hope at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
And I literally remember when I first met Valencia, we was at the hair salon.
Yeah.
And she had all her kids, and I was like, "Oh, how's she doing with all them kids?" And it's just her, and they were so well behaved. And I mean, she had strength then, so it wasn't Maddie's passing that gave you strength. You already had it. You was
Wow.
already determined, like you already.
Wow.
Okay, so what encouragement would you give to someone that feels like their prayers are going unanswered?
Before every testimony, you have to have a test. We have to be tested. Like you can't. I think that, like I said, and this is lining up with making sure that what you're asking for is lining up with God's will for your life. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that these prayers, maybe they're not unanswered. Maybe they're answered the way that God wants to answer them. Because we learn so much in the waiting. Like we waiting on God to answer a prayer. That's when you learn. That's when you meet the people you're supposed to meet. you know. And I listened to a podcast the other day, and the young man said, "Dang, have you ever realized that sometimes when you finally get what you want, you be like, that was it? That was it? I had more fun working for it and earning it than when I finally attained what I wanted." I enjoyed the lessons, the failures, the getting up again, the people that encouraged me, the people that loved on me, and think even the people that don't clap for you. I'm learning to learn something from those people as well, because it's not that anything may be wrong with you. They may be looking at themselves and trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? And everybody's fighting their own personal battle and personal situation. So don't just think that the prayers are unanswered. Maybe he's answering them in his own way and not the way that we think he should answer. So just thank God. And one lady was saying, thank God for the delay. Thank God for the no. Man's rejection is God's redirection. What the lady said in the podcast. I was like, oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Listen, I love to hear her talk. Because honey, you are wise beyond what I think you probably even realize you are. Right. Like you are. I can sit here and I can listen to you talk because you are speaking well. You are not all over the place. You aren't rambling. I can tell that you definitely have that relationship with God, right? You hear from him in the waiting season. So let me ask you this question then. How has you taken a step back from what Valencia wants and really asking God, what do you want for me? How has that shifted the way that you parent, the way that you are as a mother?
Um, I have more peace. I think that I have more peace. When I'm trying to accomplish something, I give myself, okay, I got a deadline, I need to do this, I need to do that. And those deadlines, that cause stress. That's anxiety. That's worry, you know. But when you're patient and you wait on God's timing, you have peace. You can make peace with the situation. Okay, this didn't work out for me. I know something better is coming, you know. And then with my kids, like it's an everyday battle. It's an everyday battle. Like I gotta go outside, like woosah, like Lord, okay, what do I need to be saying right now that's not gonna tip me over or make them put me in a nursing home when I can't do for myself? Like, give me peace and patience because they need that. And then even as adults, God gives it to us every day. You know, we make a mistake, we fall short, we sin, and guess what? He gives us peace and patience. He gives us another chance. He gives us grace. He's like, okay, you know, one of my favorite Bible verses is His grace is sufficient. I don't think we understand how good that Bible verse is, but His grace is so sufficient.
You know, it's it's so much about you that you didn't tell that I need the viewers to know this, okay?
Okay.
Because it ties in with the question that take that out. I'm sorry. This is a pre-recording. She can go in and take it out. Take that part out. Okay. Here we go. So Valencia, as we are listening to you and the viewers are listening to you, and you did talk about Maddie. We took you're RN and all that stuff. We talked about that.
Hmm.
But the hope at the end of the tunnel, right? When Maddie was battling cancer and you was in her hospital bed, I want you to tell the viewers what you were doing. You were studying
Oh yes, most
to
definitely. Yeah, I never stopped pursuing like becoming a nurse. Like I was going to school, taking my prerequisites while my daughter, you know, going to St. Jude. You know, I had to tell my teachers, like, hey, we got to go out of town this week for chemo. They're like, okay, you still owe me your assignments. I would get up there, you know, next to my daughter's hospital bed, and I would just do my assignments, my work. I never failed a test. I never, you know, miss an assignment. The only thing I couldn't make up was like the lab part, but that was okay because the majority of the scores was with your the majority of your scores is with your test taking. So yeah.
and
I
the
never I
reason for
never
me oh,
mhm.
no,
Yeah, I never wanted to stop. And that alone was like, okay, I gotta keep pushing. I can't let my current situation determine where I'm going.
right. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up because we don't know who may be going through something like this in a similar situation, right? That
Hmm.
may be having a child that may be going through the same thing, or it may be something totally different. But at the same time, you had a sick child, but you still had kids that you had to take care of. And not only that, you were going to school, so you were juggling so many different things at the same time, and you are still standing and
Thank you,
you are
Lord.
still
Thank you, Jesus.
sane
Yeah.
and you still want to see other
Ooh,
people win.
ooh, it's all God.
What keeps you together?
It's all God. Like I cannot take credit for what God has done in my life. I think just having that relationship with him, being able to pray and to be able to talk and to connect and just have that. And God always puts the right people in your path, the people that's gonna love you, that's gonna support you, even the people that's gonna hurt you. Like he always is gonna put people in your path that's gonna push you to your purpose. You know, it seemed like I could be going through something like how I'm gonna do this and how I'm gonna do that, and somebody like Joy or come and knock on the door or ring my phone. I'm like, how did you know that, you know, I would need help with this situation, or I would need that extra push? It's like God put the right people in my path every time.
Yes, yes. Every single time, on time. That's what I love about him. He is definitely a good father. He knows what we need before we even ask. So that's why it is so important for us to abide in him, right? Because he already knows
Mhm.
what we need. So can you share with us, like, what has been the most impactful lesson that God has taught you on your journey?
Um, so many lessons, but I think about this song, and I can't remember who sings it, and I don't want to lie on Kurt Franklin, but the song says we fall down but we get up.
Is that Kirk Franklin?
I don't want to lie on him, but it says we fall down but we get up.
Donnie McKirkland.
You
Donnie
know how I
McClurkin,
know that song?
yes.
My mama, this lady used to sing that song all the time and it drove her crazy.
That's Donnie McKirkland, I
Yeah.
feel like. Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
yeah. It's in the failures in life that we learn the most. If we succeeded at
mhm.
everything that we've ever done, you wouldn't have room to learn or grow. And I think it's the getting back, the falling down and the getting back up. That's like the best advice, the best lesson. Anything I could tell somebody, if you fall down, just get back up. You don't have to stay down. You don't have to stay lying on the ground. You can get up again. Like get up. And I was bragging on Joy to the young lady, telling her about Joy's cup that was featured on Jennifer Hudson's show. If I got through it, you can too. I mean, wow. That's amazing. Yeah.
And that's true. And whoever's going through, that's why, when I never really thought about it, but it's a universal statement, basically, what it is.
It really is.
So I got sidetracked. I'm sorry. Every time we have to do the bleeps, it be on me. I'm really emotional over here.
I'm sure it's being proud. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Valencia, like, it's like I just want to give you a hug. I don't know why. Like, oh my God. Okay, okay. Here we go. All right. So, how do you know when God is calling you in a new season of growth?
Oh, wow. This is a good question. This is a good question. Um, I think that like I said earlier, I was like elevation causes separation. I feel like certain things start to fall off of you, certain friendships, certain relationships, and you know it could be a person or somebody you thought you was just gonna be. Hey, this was gonna be my ace right here, like and God's like, no, no, no. I'm calling you to something else. I'm calling you to the mountain. I'm like, and a lot of times we don't want to go to the mountain because it's easier just to, walk the road ahead of us. But that's where God does His greatest work on us when we go to the mountain. And I feel like I'm in that season now where I'm growing and certain aspects and certain things are changing, certain ways that I carry myself or the certain conversations. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to be a part of that anymore. So I definitely can feel like the growth. Like, yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yes. And you can feel when you can feel yourself evolving, stepping into that new season of where God is taking you to, because you have to go there because your purpose is not just for you. Somebody needs who God is Let me backtrack. Someone needs what God has inside of you. And you got to go through that season of elevation for him to pull everything out because we will stay stuck. It's comfortable there
Yeah.
because growth it can be isolating, right? If
Mm,
the people
yeah.
around you aren't growing too, it can be very isolating. So I commend you for your growth. Listen, I feel like I've known you forever and I know I have not, but I'm proud. Like, okay, I'm
Thank
taking it
you.
back. I'm proud of who you are, and I just met you, right? But that's where growth looks good on you. So keep showing up. Yeah. I think that this podcast interview was different than what Joy and I were both anticipating, right? So yes, I love it. So I want to ask this question, and I'm not sure if this is a hard question to answer, right? So when you were going through your journey with your baby girl, right? Did you ever have a moment or a season where you were like upset with God?
Oh my gosh. So when we got into the hospice part, that had tore me up. My daughter was in hospice and I was in like my second semester of nursing school, and I was like, I can still do it. I can still do this. I'm like, I've waited for this moment like forever. I can still do this. I could not do that. I did it for like maybe almost 2.5 weeks. And I was like, I can't. I had to withdraw from class and just stay home and take care of my daughter. And I thank God that I did, because she only lived for 2 months after that. So I could just imagine not, having that time with her. That would have tore me up. And I just remember one day, I got in my car and I dropped my other kids off at school, and my aunt or someone was sitting at home with Maddie while I was taking the other kids to school because she was so sick she couldn't go to school. So I got home and I got in my car and I just screamed, and I was just like, "Why, God? Why? Why?" You know, I'm like, why? Why are you taking me through this? Like, I was just screaming and I was hollering and I was punching my steering wheel and I was just so angry and just upset with God. And and I heard him just clear as day. I just heard him like, be still,
Oof.
be still. So, and I've been doing good this whole time. I don't want to cry, but my daughter, she served her purpose. Throughout her life, she had touched so many people and blessed so many people. And we're not here for a long time. That was never the plan. We here for, somebody said, a good time, but not a long time. And in the 9 years of her life, she blessed so many people. Oh my gosh. I just remember people in other countries writing me about my daughter. I'm praying for her. Your daughter has blessed me. Your daughter has, and I'm like, you ain't never met her before. Wait, you're not like, and I'm 33 and I have yet to touch that many hearts or that many people. So I just thank God for having that testimony through her. And she definitely did not leave me alone. She left me with a community. She really did. I
Yes.
truly sat down with someone yesterday who I would have never met and ate lunch with this girl, and all we talk about is the Bible in nursing school. But I would have never met this girl if it hadn't been for my daughter, who passed away. Like, I would have never met this lady ever. So I just thank God for, the 9 years that she lived here and the amazing people that she left me surrounded with, the community.
I have a question. Uh-oh, Juanita. Are you?
No, go ahead.
I have a question for that mom or that dad that that's still angry, that's still mad at God, that's still screaming, that cannot go on, that's in the bed, that's depressed. How do they get up? How do they keep going? Can you give them some encouraging words?
So let me tell you, and this is my Facebook friend Lenora. I met her in Memphis, Tennessee. Um, she has 3 children, 3 daughters. All 3 of her daughters are battling cancer. So could you imagine? Miss Lenora, she preaches, so she shares the word, shares daily things on Facebook. One day after my daughter passed, cause so it hit people. Grief is different. I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, this is it. This is like 2 months later. I'm like, this is it. I'm not getting up. Like, I'm just done. I'm just over it right now. What is it? What is it to live for? Like, what is going on? I just so happened to get on Facebook and click on Miss Lenora's video. And Miss Lenora said, get up. She said, get up. Get up right now. Go wash your face. Get yourself together. Get up. Get up. And I'm like, oh my God, she's talking to me? Like, she a little aggressive, but is she talking to me? And y'all, I have got up and I've never laid back down. To hear
Yeah.
somebody with all 3 of her daughters battling cancer, tell you to get up. Oh, it's time to get up. And I got up, got back in school, got myself together, and I'm here today. So I thank God for that. And I thank God for Miss Lenore. She said it better than anybody else could say. Get up.
Wow.
You have to get back up.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. We have
Yeah.
no choice. Absolutely. Whew, I know this is definitely, it's been heavy, just a little heavy, just hearing, your transparency, your story, the things that you have been carried through, right? I think that you were carried through that season with grace by God for where
Mhm.
he's leading and guiding not just you, but also your babies, right? Where he's taken them to as well. So, what does hope at the end of the tunnel mean to you personally in this new season of your life?
So Joy, some months back, when you and Joy first started doing Hope at the End of the Tunnel, she emailed me like a 3-day devotional. And I have a group of ladies where we do Bible study and we talk about the Lord and things like that. And she emailed me the Hope at the End of the Tunnel 3-day podcast. She said share it with the ladies. So I'm at work and I'm using a printer, and I ended up making like 20 copies and just giving it out to people. And they was like, I want one. The lady was like, I want one. I want one. I'm like, you do? They're like, yeah. So also I gave out the 3-day devotional to the ladies. Like, I don't think I've ever told Joy that either. But she did tell me to share it with them. And I, shared it with the ladies and they enjoyed it. So I think hope at the end of the tunnel means that I feel like a tunnel is something dark that you go through. You can't see, until you get to the other side. And I feel like I'm to the other side, but there's something waiting. There's something better there. Like, keep going. The tunnel's dark, the journey's dark, the journey long. Like, it's not easy. Like, so I feel like there's definitely something at the end. There's something waiting, something greater. So,
Yeah. And you pulling other people through the tunnel with you, right? You're not just leaving them there in the dark. You are grabbing people by the hand and pulling them right through that tunnel with you. Even if in that moment it's just sharing a 3-day devotional, you're pulling them through the tunnel with you. So, yes.
This has been very, very good. I know someone is going to be blessed by this. Valencia, as we come to an end of this podcast, I just want you to, as Juanita say, Juanita words, keep showing up, because when you show up, people see you. They see what you're doing, all the things. And I always say, keep pushing, because when you push yourself, you get out the bed and you're not going to look back.
ooh,
Keep being the person that you are and let no one change you. Let no one try to tear your character down. You are amazing.
Yes, I
Thank you.
second that.
Yes,
Thank
you are
y'all.
simply amazing. We will be doing a part 2 and probably a part 3 to this with you. So stay tuned. There's so many different layers to what we can uncover, and of course, you know, but yes, you are simply amazing. Keep showing up. Keep
Thank
being
y'all.
the light.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep being the light that you found at the end of the tunnel.
I love that. I love that. Is there anything you want to share with the listeners before we head out? Close. I don't even know how to end this episode. So is there anything you want to share before we go?
Um, I think Joy closed it out really good. Just keep showing up. Keep showing up. I think sometimes we get sidetracked on, you know, who's supporting us or who's gonna do this, and but when you keep showing up, God gonna do everything else. Like that's it. Just keep showing up, and that's the hardest part is just showing up. I was talking to my coworker the other day. She was like, "Girl, I don't," it was just kind of, like, "Dang, we gotta work today." I said, "Well, the hardest part is showing up. We done already did that part." So the rest of it gonna be a piece of cake. And she was like, "I'm glad you look at it like that." I said, "I do." That was the hard part, getting out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, dropping off kids and getting in here and clocking in. That was the hard part. Look, everything else we can make it. We can make it.
Get up. I think I'm gonna put that on my phone. Get up. So when I look at my
Mhm.
phone, because transparency, the first thing we pick up in the morning happens to be our
Yeah.
phone, right? We should
Right.
be grabbing something else, but the first thing we pick up is our phone. I
Yeah.
think I just want to get up.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
up. Yes, that's the take. I love that. Listen, y'all. Okay, so we have to do part 2, 3, 4. This has been amazing. You are amazing. Listeners, make sure that how can we connect with you on social media?
Well, I have Facebook page. I need to get more. I need to get more. More things going on for myself. But right now, I have Facebook. So.
Okay. How can
But
we
I do
find
have
you on
Instagram
Facebook?
and I have TikTok, but I really don't know how to work TikTok. So,
That's all right. So how can we connect with you
so
on Facebook?
um, just send me a friend request, I guess, or follow or whatever.
Are you Valencia Franklin on Facebook?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Valencia Franklin on Facebook. All right. We'll get the TikTok, the Instagram, all that stuff down. Cause listen, I am not a TikTok pro. And Joy, like
Right.
I'm still trying to learn Instagram. So we all just trying to learn something all together. So don't worry. It's all good. So listeners, as always, make sure when you listen to this episode, because I know that you're gonna have 1, 2, or 3 takeaways, leave a comment. Let us know one takeaway from this episode, and then don't just listen and keep it to yourself. Don't be a gatekeeper. Go share it with somebody who needs the motivation and the encouragement. Share it with them. Make sure that you subscribe, and then stay tuned because we have more amazing episodes like this one coming soon. We are hope at the end of the tunnel. Connect with us on social media as well. And that's all we have, y'all. This has been amazing. Take care.